How's it going, guys? Today we're going to be going over a LeetCode problem called Find the Celebrity. This is a question right now that's being asked by Facebook, Pinterest, and Microsoft according to LeetCode. And the problem description says, suppose you're at a party with n people, and among them there may exist one celebrity. The definition of a celebrity is that all other n-1 people know him or her, but they don't know any of them. So now we have to figure out if there is a celebrity, and if there is one, who they are, right? So the only thing we're allowed to do, it tells us, is ask, hey A, do you know B? And this gives us information about whether A knows B or not. And so we need to find out if there is a celebrity, and if there is, we need to basically do this by asking as few questions as possible. So we're given a helper function called knows, which tells us whether or not A knows B. And given this helper function, we need to implement a function that will either return the celebrity if there exists one, or return -1 if there is no celebrity. And we need to minimize the number of calls to knows. Cool. So, given that we have this helper function, right, we need to figure out if there is or is not a celebrity, and if there is one, return who the celebrity is. So with this knows function, we figure out two things, right? So if A knows B, A can't be the celebrity, and if A doesn't know B, A could be the celebrity. So I think that's kind of like the main takeaway from this helper function. So given that, we can kind of start formulating a solution, right? So if we find two pairings where A does know B, that means that B can be a celebrity. So they're kind of like a candidate, right? They're someone who could potentially be a celebrity for us. Whereas vice versa, if A doesn't know B, A could potentially be a candidate for us. So just kind of using that logic, let's find a candidate. So let's have a variable called int candidate, and we'll just set that to 0 just to say, to start, okay, 0 is our candidate. And now we can loop through, so for int I equals 1, because we're starting at 0, or rather we're setting our candidate to start at 0, so we could start at 1. Well, I is less than n, I plus plus. And we're just going to check if the candidate knows I, then our candidate is going to be updated to I, right? So if our candidate knows I, that means that I could potentially be a celebrity, right? And the candidate can no longer be the celebrity, because if they are the celebrity, they shouldn't know anyone at the party. Cool, so now after this loop, we have a candidate. And so now what we really need to check is everyone else knows our candidate, and our candidate doesn't know any of them. So we need another loop to go through all the people again. So we'll say for int I equals 0, while I is less than n, I plus plus again. This will let us go through all the people. And now what we want to check is if I is not equal to candidate, right? Because we don't want to check if the person knows themselves. And knows candidate I, or not knows I candidate. So here we're checking if the person is not themselves, right? So if we're not going to compare whatever person we're on to the candidate that we currently have, and the candidate knows the candidate knows the person that we're on, or the person we're on does not know the candidate. If that's the case, we're going to return -1, right? Because if our candidate knows the person, or the person doesn't know the candidate, then there's no way the candidate can be a celebrity. So if we get through this entire loop and we've never returned -1, we can actually just return our candidate. Let's make sure that this works. Awesome, it does. Let's check out our details here. Our details tell us that we passed 171 out of 171 test cases, and we're in the 73rd percentile in terms of runtime. So that's the interview question, Find the Celebrity in Java. I hope this was helpful, guys. If it was, be sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos. Good luck on all your interviews, and I'll see you guys next time.